Hello. People have different reactions when they first meet me. Some start crying. Some look away, unable to find any words. Most want to hug me, and some will tell me about where they were when they first heard the awful news. I understand, and it's all okay. I am the embodiment of a parent's worst nightmare. You see, I stand before you not only as an advocate for change, but as a Sandy Hook mom, a mother who knows firsthand the devastating impacts of gun violence. Both of my sons were at Sandy Hook Elementary School on December 14th, 2012. Jake was in 3rd grade and Dylan was in 1st grade when a disturbed young man shot his way through the locked front door and used his AR-15 with high-capacity magazines to fire 154 rounds in less than 5 minutes. In those few minutes, he killed 6 educators and 20 innocent 6- and 7-year-olds. Jake survived, and for that I am so grateful. But Dylan, my beautiful baby boy, was shot 5 times and died instantly. And for me, our family, and my town, life completely changed. That's why I helped launch Sandy Hook Promise just 1 month after the shooting. I had to find answers to the question that still burns in my heart every day. What could have prevented this? Our mission is simple. We prevent tragedies and loss of life by providing programs that teach people how to recognize warning signs of potential violence and then to intervene before that violence can occur. And we advocate for state and federal legislation in the areas of mental health and wellness, school safety, and gun violence prevention. Sounds like something everyone could get behind, right? So when the Manchin-Toomey background checks bill failed in April 2013, just 4 months after the shooting, I felt like I'd failed my sons all over again. I'd failed to protect Dylan from dying, and I'd failed to protect Jake's future safety. And I felt like I'd failed to understand people. Now, every other national gun violence prevention organization at that time was only focused on the tip of the iceberg. We were only focused on legislative change, because it seemed like the obvious solution. So why did it fail? Because our country wasn't ready. We weren't addressing the underlying polarized feelings around gun violence, nor the anger and fear that had been fueling it for decades. So I decided to try something different. I started by studying the root causes of gun violence, and I studied previous social movements, everything from marriage equality back to civil rights, to understand what levers they had pulled to create long-term behavioral change and to enact laws that support and enforce it. And we became totally different as an organization. We learned to build bridges between differing points of view, to listen more than we speak, and to treat all perspectives with respect and curiosity, even those we vehemently disagree with. And I learned to center voice of youth at the core of our work and put everything around their needs, education, and advocacy. So we became very different. And even though we proved that our intentionally nonpartisan strategy worked, and we were successfully scaling our programs with tremendous impact, including stopping over 500 youth suicides and 15 credible school shooting plots, we still faced challenges. Bridge building can be hard work. Sometimes we were challenged by the school district we worked with. I remember one time, one said, "We love your content, but we just need you to remove some stuff. The LGBTQ stuff, all of it." Like where we reference that LGBTQ youth are at increased risk of suicide and self-harm and suffering from mental health issues like anxiety and depression. Honestly, I was stunned, and this went against all of our organizational values. We may be politically nonpartisan, but we are fully kid-partisan. Rather than simply saying no, I asked questions to understand, where is this coming from? How can we help you bridge that gap? Because to exclude any community would be to do harm. Gun violence and youth violence is intersectional and disproportionately affects marginalized and vulnerable populations such as students of color and LGBTQ youth. Fortunately, we were able to help them navigate to a successful outcome where no content was changed, students received the exact same stuff we did everywhere else, and their stakeholders' concerns were managed. But one of the biggest challenges we continue to face is apathy and hopelessness. Too many people are starting to give up on gun violence prevention. They say if nothing changed since Sandy Hook, that nothing ever will. I have never once given up my hope. I know this is hard, but I know it is possible. And I know that we can make this difference. Now, some might call that strength, some might call that resilience. I call it purpose. And I think it's best summed up in the opening line of the promise that I first read when I launched my organization 10 years ago. It says, "Our hearts are broken, our spirit is not." I still believe in the power of the promise, and I still believe in people. Over the last 10 years, I have met so many people from all walks of life, backgrounds, cultures, beliefs, from presidents to philanthropists, celebrities and influencers to everyday people. We do have our differences, but we have more in common than we think. And with this issue, nobody is pro-gun violence. We are all just people, just parents who want to keep our kids safe in their homes, schools, and communities. That is my commitment and my eternal promise. Please keep that promise with me. Thank you.